Jaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we are continuing our reading from chapter 15 uh, from the book Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And we were seeing how Mahaprabhu explained the different words that come in the Atmaram verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Mahaprabhu continues, there are three different kinds of transcendental process mentioned in the Vedic literature by which one can understand and achieve that supreme perfection of the absolute truth. They are the process of knowledge, that is Gyan Yoga, the process of mystic yoga, that is Dhyan Yoga, and the process of devotional service, Bhakti Yoga. And process of knowledge is also Karma Yoga. It is also the followers of these three processes realize the absolute truth in three different aspects. Those who follow the process of knowledge realize him as impersonal Brahman. So usually they are called Brahmavadis and also the Mayavadis. They don't believe in the personal form of the Lord. They just simply think that the impersonal Brahma Jyoti is the highest. Therefore, they are called Mayavadis. So they are the ones who follow the process of knowledge. Following the process of knowledge means they try to cultivate knowledge, and through that knowledge, through various kinds of speculations and interpretations, and in that process they try to realize, which is very, very difficult, and rarely maybe some people may be successful. Then those who follow the process of yoga, Dhyan Yoga, there is Hatha Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and there is Yam, Niyam, Pranayam, Dhyan, Dharana, all these things. So the process of yoga, they realize the Supreme Lord as the localized super soul, Paramatma realization. So their ultimate, their highest is that they come to the realization that the Paramatma form exists in every atom, in every living entity. That is the highest. They don't go beyond that. They think that is the highest, that which is still within the purview of the material nature only. Because only in the material nature the Paramatma form exists. Because in the spiritual world, the Paramatma form does not exist. Because in the spiritual world, everyone is in their original swaroop, the spiritual form itself. Therefore, there is no need for the Supreme Lord Krishna to accompany the individual soul as the Paramatma. There is no need for that. But because we have forgotten our original identity, we have left our original swaroop, our original form, and we have fallen down in this material world. Therefore, the Supreme Lord accompanies us in the form of Paramatma, or the localized super soul. So even for these yogis, so what kind of yogis usually do this, follow this process of yoga? They are mystic yogis. They try to get some kind of mystic siddhis. So they are mystic yogis. They usually follow this kind of process of yoga system. And the ultimate, the highest they get is the Paramatma realization. And the third are those who follow the process of devotional service, the devotees of the Lord. They realize him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, Satchid Ananda Vigraha, in his original form. In other words, although the word Brahman indicates Krishna and nothing else, still, according to the process that is followed, the Lord is realized in three different aspects. So this Brahman is also Krishna, Paramatma is also Krishna, is energy of Krishna only, expansion of Krishna only. But what does this mean? By this, what do we understand? Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam satyam bhajamyam, means in whichever way the devotee or the transcendentalist or somebody is trying to reach to me, in that same way I reciprocate with that person. So if somebody wants to understand Krishna in his impersonal form, then they will only get Brahman realization in the form of that impersonal Brahma Jyoti. If somebody wants to just simply stay till until the Paramatma realization, then Krishna will reciprocate accordingly. But if somebody wants to know Krishna as he is, the absolute truth, Janma Karma cha me divyam, evam yo vekti tatvatah, Tyaktva deham punarjanma neti mam eti. So Arjuna, Krishna is saying. So one who knows my transcendental form, my appearance, my transcendental activities, such a person upon leaving their body will never come back to this material world again and will achieve my eternal spiritual abode. So like that although the word Brahman indicates Krishna only, nothing else other than Krishna, Brahman means Krishna. But according to the process that is followed, the Lord is realized in the three different aspects based on that. And in amongst these three process also, this Brahman realization and the Paramatma realization is very, very difficult. Rarely somebody may reach that level. As far as devotional service is also, one more thing is that even if somebody successfully reaches the ultimate level, there they come to the point to understand that the highest is engaging in devotional service of the Lord. So after that, the point is then they start engaging in the devotional service of the Lord. Whereas Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita has already given Bhakti Yoga, that see three processes are there. Bhakti Yoga is the simplest because ultimately through Gyan Yoga, through Dhyan Yoga, through Karma Yoga, everything, person will, the highest destination is they come to the point where they finally realize that okay, now we should engage in the devotional service of the Lord. So Krishna is saying that third process I'm already giving you. From now on itself you can engage in my devotional service and finish this business of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. End this, close this chapter itself, this Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. Just engage in my devotional service. As far as devotional service is concerned, there are two divisions. In the beginning, there is Vidhi Bhakti or devotional service with regulative principles. In the higher stage, there is Rag Bhakti or devotional service in pure love. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the absolute truth, but he is manifested by the expansions of his different energies also. Those who follow the regulative principles of devotional service ultimately attain to the Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual world. But one who follows the principles of love in devotional service attains to the supreme abode, the highest planet in the spiritual world, which is known as Krishna Lok or Golok Vrindavan. Transcendentalists also can be divided into three categories. The word akam refers to one who does not have any material desires. Mokshakam refers to one who seeks liberation from material miseries. We discussed about that one who desires moksha or liberation. What does that mean? They want to be free of the material miseries. Ultimately, that is also a material desire, that I want to be free of the material miseries and I want to be happy. So even in the material world, everybody unknowingly everybody is trying to be happy only. So they are doing various activities and thinking that this will make me happy. By doing that, I will become happy. If this happens, I will become happy. Nothing will make anything material can never give happiness. Happiness and distress will come as nobody wants distress, but still it comes. Similarly, whether we want happiness or not, when it's time, it will come. And when it's time, it will go also by itself. It is not by doing this or that. It comes by according to the timing. It will go according to the timing, just like the distress. Distress comes without us trying to do anything. We don't make any efforts in order to get some distress, but distress comes. Similarly, whatever material happiness, it will also come whenever it is supposed to come. But mokshakamis are those people who seek liberation from these material desires. And sarvakam refers to one who wants to enjoy by fulfilling material desires. The most intelligent transcendentalist gives up all other process, all these processes, this mokshakam, sarvakam, all these processes. This is the most intelligent transcendentalist, gives up all other processes and engages in the devotional service of the Lord, even though he may have many desires. Through no kind of activity, whether fruitive action or cultivation of knowledge or cultivation of mystic yoga, can a person achieve the highest perfection without adding a tinge of devotional service. So, what is it saying? That all of these activities, some fruitive action, some havan, some yagya, this, that, cultivation of knowledge, through knowledge, we are trying to understand what is the highest, how to get out of these material miseries, or some mystic yoga, like mystic yoga, that today I'm here. If I want, I will suddenly transfer myself to where Kuheli Mataji is sitting, or something is lying very far, I will extend my hand and it will go up to there, and just so I don't have to get up. All these kinds. Or if I want, if I feel like eating something, through my mysticism I will make it appear in front of me. So all these are mystic activities. So none of these things can make a person achieve highest perfection unless there is devotional service. All these things are still on the material platform only. No matter whatever one person achieves, they still have to go through all the material miseries. There is no escape from birth, death, and old age and disease. All the material miseries will be there. But when there is devotional service, only then somebody can go to the highest perfection. Except for devotional service, all the transcendental processes are just like nothing. A goat has many, the people think that okay, this goat can give us milk, but that goat cannot give milk because on the neck they have these small piercings thing which look like okay, they can give milk, but can they give milk from a neck? No. So they are just like nipples on the neck of a goat, useless. They just are for show. So other than devotional service, all other transcendental processes are good for nothing. The nipples on a goat's neck may be squeezed, but they do not supply milk. Therefore, if one is to derive actual perfection from his process, whatever process they are doing, they must take to the devotional service of Krishna. There are so many segments of um, these religious practices where people practice lot of austerities, lot of tapasya. They will not eat for a month. They will drink only hot water. They cover their mouth so that they don't kill these microorganisms and such things. But unless one takes to the process of devotional service, Krishna has not said that you keep your mouth covered. Krishna has given the mouth to speak about Krishna's glories, name, fame, activities. Therefore, use that mouth, even if millions and trillions of zillions of microorganisms also get killed by it. Still, Krishna is saying, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha. Krishna is saying, do not fear. Just surrender unto my lotus feet and you leave all other, abandon all religions. Not leave, he's saying abandon. And then just take my shelter. Just surrender unto me. I will take care of all, whatever you are doing, all those reactions, I will take care. Don't worry. Do not fear. So therefore, you must take to Krishna, the devotional service of Krishna. So we'll pause here for today, and Krishna willing, we will continue reading tomorrow as Krishna desires. Thank you very much, dear devotees, for your very, very kind association. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo ananta koti Vaishnav vrinda ki jai.
जय
की जय, श्रील गुरु महाराज की जय.
जय
वंदे हरि हरि बोल.
बोल हरी हरी बोल
जय श्री श्यामा करुणामयी माता जी की जय.
जय
हरि बोल.
All glories to Shri
हरी बोल हरी बोल हरी बोल.